Hi guys, today I'm here with a Tiffany's Tell All video, and today's topic is obviously going to be on Makayla's leg. I've gotten hundreds of questions regarding my last video, and I'm going to try and go through them as quickly as I can, but give the most informative answer that I can. So I'm just going to start off by saying that I've gotten questions in regards to how did it break, or like how did she break her femur? It's the biggest bone in her body. How could it possibly break? So because Makayla is non-weight bearing, which means she doesn't stand, and she very rarely actually sits in her chair. Well, she has more now, but previously she hadn't. She doesn't weight bear. She doesn't use her bones at all. Her bones are very, very thin, and this is all information that we're finding out going through this process, that her bones are very, very thin. And even though it's the biggest bone in her body, it is a bone that we would consider to be like a wrist bone or her arm bone. It's very, very tiny and very weak. So first off, we want to say it's not like you and I breaking our femur, which would take a huge, huge impact. It would take, you know, something falling on it that's really heavy, or us falling off of something and our femur breaking. Makayla isn't like that. I've also gotten people in the comments saying that they've actually been through this before with their child, and it can be caused by even seizure medications can help weaken the bones. So first off, I just wanted to clarify that Makayla's bones are not like you and I's. She doesn't use them, so they are a lot weaker. Just like anything, if you don't use your muscles, they're going to become weak. So I just wanted to clarify that, because a lot of people were saying like obviously you must know exactly what happened, or you must have caused it, or someone must have caused this to happen, if a worker had dropped her or whatever. So that is out of the way. So how did it break? We don't know. There's a few things that we can think of that may have caused it, and that would be Damien likes to get up on the couch with her and give her kisses and that, and he may have stepped on her wrong, or we keep Makayla's legs just separated with a pillow, and Damien had just started taking the pillow out from her knees, and they could have like hit together. So the other thing is I wanted to explain where the break was. So it is at the very top of her knee, just above her knee. So it's in an area where it wouldn't take a lot of impact. Just even carrying her could have caused this if we lifted her wrong, because we do lift from underneath her head and then underneath her knees. Just holding her that way can actually break her bones. So that is the answer to that question. We don't know exactly how it happened, and it's frustrating. It's something that runs constantly through your head. How did it happen? How come we didn't prevent this? How come we didn't know it broke? Like how could she break her femur and her tolerance be so high and not even let us know that it's broken? You would think with a broken bone they would cry or whatever, but it's something that runs through your head constantly of how could this happen. And in this instance, I will never know exactly what happened. I've even had the doctors tell me, don't beat yourself up about this. It's very, very common in children, like Makayla, to have broken bones. Obviously her femur is one of the ones that we wouldn't suspect, but it does happen. So the reason why we know all this is because as soon as a child has a broken bone, and you go through the healthcare system, you're automatically screened. They look at why this would have happened, and how did it happen. And they extensively look at the x-rays to see how could this happen. And just by research alone, they know that children like Makayla, with very weak bones, with no weight bearing, and with no movement, that it's just inevitable that something like this may happen. So for me, it was hard being in the hospital because they ask you so many questions, and repeatedly ask you, how did this happen? And when you don't have an answer, it's just, it makes you look horrible. As you can see, this is a hard topic. I did a lot of crying in a hospital, trying to figure out why this happened or how could I have prevented it. But it's just something that happened. And we had actually asked while we were in Sick Kids if there was some sort of bone density scan that they could do to tell us more, and we actually had that clinic booked, but after they did the screening, they basically told us that there's no sense of even doing a screen because they can tell by the x-ray just how thin Makayla's bones are. So the other thing is I wanted to mention is that Makayla requires extra calcium and vitamin D supplement, and she's supposed to have it once a day, and because of what it says on the bottle, it says that you have to give it 3 hours before medication or 3 hours after medication, and that only leaves us literally 1 minute between each of her feeds, and that is at 12 o'clock and that is at 6 o'clock at night. And it's one of those ones that we always forget. You're just like, for the time for it to be even from 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock, it goes so quickly, and from 9 o'clock to 12 o'clock, it's just, it goes so by so fast and you don't remember it. And I beat myself up about that because I know she should have it more than what we've been giving to her, and it's something that I know can affect her bones. We actually asked the pharmacist in Sick Kids whether or not we can give it with her medications, if the calcium and vitamin D will actually affect any of her medications, and luckily they said no, it won't affect them, and that we can give it all at the same time. So that allows us to give it with all her other medications, so it can't be forgotten anymore. It's something that she needs and something that will help with this. We have also talked about injections to help strengthen her bones, but that's something that would have to be done every 4 weeks, and we're not sure if that's only in Sick Kids or if we can do it at a nearby hospital. So that's something that we have to weigh the pros and cons about, and we'll find out more about that in the future. The next question is, even for us, is where do we go from here? I foresee us obviously making sure that she has her calcium every single day, and maybe the injection is something we need to look into, and then I've also talked to my physiotherapist, an occupational therapist, that we may have to do different types of lifting, different types of therapy with her, just all around analyzing the situation and how do we make it better. So I think that hopefully answers all those questions in regards to her legs specifically. I had a few other questions in regards to hospitals. So I got a question, or a few questions, about how could our local hospital possibly not have an x-ray technician or an ultrasound machine. And The answer to that question is basically it's just a small, tiny hospital that's more of like a walk-in clinic. Around here we don't have a lot of children with disabilities, so it's not required that they have a lot of equipment. So it's more of just like a walk-in, and then if you need anything, you head to a bigger hospital. So the way it works is we have 4 hospitals near us. We have our local one, which is only 15 minutes away. Then we have one that is 30 minutes away, which has pretty much everything except for it's a 4-hour wait. Then there's one that is an hour and 15 minutes from us, and I honestly hate that hospital. I've been there a few times, and each time I've had a problem with them, and I've actually wrote a letter to the hospital and talked to, I can't remember what they're called, but the person that deals with all the complaints. I've actually had a sit down at my house with them so that they can improve their hospital, because they really valued my opinion. And then also we have our pediatrician's hospital, which is 50 minutes away, which is the hospital that we usually go to, which has the direct admit. So that night, our best option was to have Makayla seen right away, within the next 20 minutes or so. So that is why we chose to go to that hospital. When we were on the phone with our pediatrician's hospital, they said that it would be a 4-hour wait. But of course, if we chose, we could have headed there and waited. But because of the circumstance that I truly believed it was in regards to Botox, we went to our local hospital, and from what I explained to the doctor, yes, it would have looked like an infection. There is no reason for him to believe that it would be anything else. And he's not experienced with children with disabilities. But I chose to trust that he would know about infection or a broken bone or a blood clot or something that is well known. So that's why we chose to go that route. So I think that's all. Makayla has had her cast taken off and recasted already. The swelling has gone down. It went down within a week, and she needed it recasted, which is good news. That was on Monday, I believe, or Tuesday. No, Tuesday, because her birthday was Monday, and then we went in the next day. So they also did x-rays and showed that it's healing really well, and it looks good. So we have an appointment at Sick Kids with orthopedics to look at everything and do a follow-up to make sure everything is good. And hopefully that day it'll be roughly 4 weeks and the cast can come off. It's been a roller coaster going through this. It's been hard because we're all scared to move her and touch her, which sucks because she's always been so tolerable of everything and so content, and I love to hold her in my arms. And I'm scared to do that now. I never want Damien to feel like he can't touch and kiss and hug his sister. So it's going to be an adjustment, getting used to new ways and learning new things. We're always constantly learning something new. If it wasn't for you guys commenting, I wouldn't feel like I wasn't alone. And thankful for everyone that has commented saying that they've been through this. So I'm sorry for getting emotional. I didn't expect to get emotional. I'm usually pretty good, but the more you think about something and the more you try to say it out loud, it gets harder. So thank you for listening to this video. If you learned something new, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. hit that notification button to make sure that you're getting my videos as soon as they come out, and I will talk to you in my next video. Bye guys.